We will go ahead and get started with part 6, the final piece of our 6-part series for this first round. Today's topics are Kaltura Media and GoReact. Right, so really briefly, I'll go over our agenda for today. As always, we'll overview and discuss what's new. Then we'll take a few minutes to explore what Kaltura is, and then I'll go through a brief live demonstration of that. The next thing we'll do is go into GoReact and explain what that platform is and how you utilize it. Then we'll do one more demonstration, and finally, I'll give you the reminded activities and next steps to complete. So here we go. First things first, and I'm sure you can follow along and read this, but what is Kaltura? Kaltura is the university's primary tool for recording audio and video. There are a few resources that we're going to get into beneath this slide that discuss what Kaltura is. All the media that you record will be stored in My Media, which is accessible from the institution homepage within Blackboard Ultra. There you can edit, reuse, delete, download, and essentially use your media for all of the purposes you'd have. Like anything else, practice makes perfect. So don't be afraid to experiment with Kaltura before your courses start. Well, we're right at the beginning now, so before your courses actually need you to use Kaltura, you can go ahead and utilize it and explore. We're going to take a look and a deep dive into Kaltura right now. First things first. Kaltura Media is a media delivery service that's integrated into Blackboard already. So it allows you to record, edit, and publish using webcam videos, screen captures or screen recording, and presentations for the use within an online classroom. So there are step-by-step details of how you can record a video using your webcam, how you can record a slide presentation or a screen capture, and then finally, how you add videos that you've already created with other software into Kaltura as well. First things first, Kaltura Express Capture is the functionality that's already embedded, and that allows you to record audio or video directly from the browser without needing to install anything. Those recordings will happen using Express Capture in My Media, which I'll show you in just a moment. In order to do that, you go into the My Media library, add new, and Express Capture. That's going to allow you to record, and you can change or edit the video that way. If you want to record a slide presentation or a screen capture, you're going to need to download the Install Kaltura Capture software. When you do that, you'll be able to essentially add new media by screen recording from your device. Finally, it's super easy to upload any media that you have on your device already. In order to do that, you also access it through the My Media homepage and then click Add New. And anything that is already saved on your device, you'd be able to select from a drop-down menu, click Open, and upload it that way. So super easy steps here. I'll give you a little bit more details and then we'll get into it. So My Media is already embedded in your institution page. We'll talk about that when I open it up in the live preview. In order to edit essentially any of the media that you personally upload, you're able to edit it. Also, if someone else, maybe you're working on a group project and someone else creates it, they would have to make you the co-editor, and then you'd also be able to edit any media within it. Finally, you're able to create video quizzes or add interactive reflection points, and I'll show you just how to do that as well, which is a really cool function because you can create a video for any purpose and then kind of pause throughout it to have checks for understanding or essentially create a video quiz that coincides with the media that you uploaded. Questions so far before I go into the live demo?
No, everything's good.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to switch screens right now to take us into Blackboard so that you can see what it actually looks like.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so what I'll show you is essentially on the institution homepage. When you're on that homepage, so not in any of your courses, but literally just at the base navigation, you'll be able to go into the tools on the left, and then My Media is already there. This exists for every student already. So you would click into My Media, and then I'll show you those different functions in a moment. So there are a couple of videos here already. And I also uploaded some pictures so that you can see the difference when you're filtering. So essentially, to add a new item, if you notice here, when I click add new, I have the different items options. So I can upload media from my device by clicking here. Express capture means that I am ready to essentially record the screen. It won't do it because I'm already using that recording function through Zoom, but that's what Express Capture would do. Similarly, because I've already downloaded Kaltura Capture, if I wanted to use that, I can do the same thing. And finally, I can create a video quiz. The first thing I want to show you is how to use the filters. They're super intuitive. So essentially, I can select any media that I own. I can select any media that my group owns. I can go and just look for media that I personally am able to edit. Or finally, media that I can view or publish. Also, you'll be able to see the distinctions in terms of what items are private, what is published and public to be viewed, what's still pending or hasn't uploaded yet, and finally, anything that potentially gets rejected and you need to try again. Last but not least, I can filter to just videos that are within my Kaltura media, and this is going to only be the videos that I have uploaded. Similarly, if there's just an audio clip that I want, I would be able to find that. Or finally, an image, so only a stationary picture, right, that I wanted to see, I can go ahead and look at that. Finally, the button icons on the right. So you can select the pencil on any of these to edit that item. You'll see the title of it. You'll be able to replace the media if you wanted a different image to show up. You can add a description. You can add tags so that you're able to see it, or you can delete the entry altogether. I'm going to save this and go back to my media so that you can see what it looks like if I'm doing this with a video. I'm going to show you two distinctions. So one of them, for example, if I wanted to view the analytics on a video, it's going to show me essentially how many plays, how many unique viewers, how many minutes it was viewed for, and then if it was shared with anyone. So any of the videos that you upload and make public, so if you publish it on here, you'll be able to see that data as it relates to it. The final thing that I wanted to show you is if it is media that you did not create on your own. So one more time, one of these is shared from Dr. Summers. It's actually a session that she hosted. So I wanted you to see, I have the description, but if I go to the actions here, the only thing I could do is publish this. I cannot edit the video because I'm not the creator of it. I could also technically share it within this site, but those are the only two features that I have access to do because I am not the creator of that video. Then the very last thing is, as you notice, there's the little indicators here. If an item is private and I'm the co-publisher, you'll see it. If the item is something that I own and I created, you'll be able to see it. And then finally, if it is published, if it is viewable by multiple people because I've posted it publicly, you'll see that as well. Any questions about Kaltura Media before I go into GoReact? So let me go over GoReact for just a moment. If you have any additional questions, there's a student help desk directly related to Kaltura Media. It's embedded in Blackboard as well, and within these Blackboard student support that I've shown you previously. But here's the one that you probably will use, for more group functions. So GoReact is another tool, but this one can be used as both synchronous and asynchronous lab sessions. Not all faculty is going to use this tool, but for the courses that do use it, there are multiple resources available and videos and how-to guides. Like Kaltura, you'll be able to use video to upload or stream your video assignments. GoReact allows you to upload, record, or stream a video on your mobile device. Your instructors will give you time-coded feedback on your videos, or your classmates will, and I'll show you what that function looks like. This is going to help you assess your performance more thoroughly and learn faster. So we're going to go through an example of that, but essentially GoReact is the tool that you'll use for clinical simulations, for peer evaluations, and even if you're trying to develop certain soft skills within a course. So what that looks like is students for clinical simulations can record themselves practicing a simulation lab and get easy feedback from peers or faculty. Also, faculty can record themselves demonstrating clinical techniques and simulations and have students identify specific skills using custom markers. The next thing is for self and peer evaluations. Students can record and upload their video assignments or assessments and evaluate the work of their peers. That work is going to be based on a rubric, how you'll score it, and you'll be able to give custom time-stamped feedback on that as well. Finally, for soft skills development, you can record and upload students interacting with live patients and use an evaluation rubric or custom markers to provide feedback of soft skills. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a moment. So this is a talk through. Now, the fair disclaimer is that technically it is to the teacher, but all of the details that GoReact encompasses are in this video, and it shows you the features, and then I'll show you it live. So I'm going to let the audio from this play now.
All right, and then we'll hit submit. Then you'll scroll all the way down until you see your GoReact experience. Here is manual muscle testing. And we'll open that up. And then GoReact allows you to create a new assignment or copy from a previous assignment. So for a new assignment, it gives you 3 options: standard, stimulus, or comment only. So you can play around with those, but the most common application and use will probably be standard, where students can record videos with options for multiple cameras, live feedback, and more. So we'll click that and then hit next. Then it takes you to this page where we've already put in standard, but now you can choose the recording and feedback privacy of either making it private, where recordings and feedback are only visible to the presenter and instructors or reviewers. Close peer review, where peers can see and critique others' recordings, but their feedback is only visible to the faculty. Or if you want to make it a more collaborative experience, you can do the open peer review, where peers see and critique others' recordings and can see everybody's feedback on submissions. If it's more of a lab and collaborative, then you'll want to choose perhaps the open peer. If it's more of a practical, then you can choose private. And then you have the option to make it not graded or make it graded, where there are points where you're putting a single numeric value and they either get those points or they don't. Or you can, if it's a bit more complex, then you can click the instructor rubric. So here it takes you to a screen where you can either use a pre-existing rubric or create a new rubric. So we'll create a new rubric, and on the left side it has all your rubric elements, and you just drag them over to the main screen. So here we'll add a label of performs MMT correctly, and add the point value there. And then if you want more criteria, you could just keep on dragging over. So grades MMT correctly. And then put the point value there. If you wanted to add a additional description here, you can if you need a little bit more information within those categories. After you're done, then you'll save and close. and it takes you to this screen where you can review that you've chosen a rubric, a points, and then also it gives you a few more options if you wanted to put a time limit or only one attempt. And then it gives you some information here where, for example, this one is nice recording instructions, where if you wanted to provide some video instructions to the students before they loaded their video, you can do that in text or a video instruction video that you load, either through video you have on your computer where you can upload, or you can create a video on the spot. And so right now I'm using my webcam here, and I'm going to go ahead and record. Hi, for this video you will perform a manual muscle test on a friend or family member in your home environment, and you will post that recording to Blackboard via GoReact. And you will not only be performing the motion, but also verbalizing what manual muscle testing grade you'll be using, and as well as providing rationale for why that individual had that particular grade. After you've posted it, the faculty will be reviewing your video and providing you with feedback and a score. Okay, so then they've got those instructions that they can watch prior to posting their own video, and we'll save and close that. And we are watching that student's experience. And perhaps here the technique either looks really good or they need some feedback, so you can pause it on the timeline and then come over here and you've got text, video, and audio feedback that you can give them. There are some other options where you can upload feedback as well or post a YouTube video, but here maybe I just want to say, you know, great technique. I can also provide some constructive feedback where perhaps they needed to improve their technique, and maybe, you know, text isn't the way to do that. Maybe what I could do here is add a video, and I can record the appropriate technique. Okay, so it looks like you had some difficulty with the ulnar deviation aspect. So you just want to make sure that it's pure ulnar deviation that you're demonstrating versus extension and ulnar deviation. So giving them a way to be able to see in real time, you know, that feedback.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you could hear me. The reason I paused it there is because I'm going to show you within the tool now, but essentially this is where we go for all of the interactive communication using GoReact. So I'm going to go into my sample sandbox just so that you can see what it would look like if an assignment was given to use GoReact. Alrighty, so essentially I already created this activity. So if I wanted to start an assignment, I can title it sample 2. So as an instructor, I already created the activity. And then if I wanted to add other presenters, this is what I wanted to show you. If it's going to happen in a group, you would type in the other members of your group and save their names here. That way, all of the people that are within this can actually access it and edit it. And so essentially, you have a few options when you're in GoReact, but I would be able to see what the instructions were listed here, and then I can either record, upload, use YouTube or Zoom, right? So say you're having a meeting and that's the thing that you all are going to evaluate later, but there's 2 persons in it, you can use Zoom to do it as well. But what I can do is go ahead and access the recorder. Of course, it's not going to work because of what we're doing, but I wanted you to see what it looks like to do the equipment check. You'd select your camera and microphone to make sure those things are working and click continue. What that would actually look like is it'll produce a video that looks like this. Once you have a video and you save it, you'd be able to publish it. You can also share with guest reviewers. So for example, if it is a peer that needs to review it for you, you can type in their email address right here and send the invitation. They would then be able to open that item and provide comments. So what that looks like is I can see comments that already exist, or I can add new ones.
Image recording, volume check, microphone check.
So of course there's no actual content, right? But in the event that there was content that I wanted to see, what I can do here is at the marker for whatever time it is,
volume check, microphone check.
I can pause it and I can add a comment, right? So there's nothing else in it. So the only thing that I can really say is the sound is clear, but I can add that at the specific timestamp. So anywhere within the person's video, you're able to kind of go to it. And then when you add your comments, they're going to pop up on that actual timestamp. So for example, if at this moment I have a question, the description provided, I can post this comment using that little arrow. It's going to send the comment at the specific timestamp, right? Now, what you can do here is the person who's giving you feedback is the person who you're going to see those little timestamp markers from. Your ability to reply to those comments gives a new text option. So if I sent this out and hypothetically my peer classmate shared those comments with me, I can respond to them. I can use maybe the rubric. So maybe I want to upload the rubric that our professor asked us to use to kind of justify why I did what I did. But all of those things are interactive and they would happen within the document. So even though it's not going to let me record a new one, at least you can see what it looks like to actually go through and engage. You can either make the comments visible or you can close them out. The other option is where it says autoplay video comments. With this one, when you play it back, they're going to pop up during the second that you see. So on the video now, those comments will pop up automatically. Then if I needed to attach any supporting maybe additional details or if there's something that I want to reference and make the person who created the video aware of, I can do that by attaching the video here. Finally, when you're done, if this is a group activity, you can download it and that sample response is going to save to your device. You can either choose to score it or not score it at all. You can also, if this was just like a practice run for you because you wanted to see what it's like, you can also trash it. I've done that with one of them before. Alrighty, I'm gonna go back into our presentation. We're just about wrapping up, obviously, with that. But I wanted to go into just like the helpful tips. So all of this is located within Blackboard. Essentially, within the student help desk, you can select GoReact and you'll see these options. But GoReact Academy, Virtual Lab, and Practicals Guide. And then if you have a specific request that maybe our IT support can't help, but maybe it's something that's like saved in your GoReact, but you can't view it, you can always submit a request with them as well. I would say use us as your first line of defense, but in the event that you need additional information, GoReact is also a tool and resource that you can use. So the final thing that I want to mention, and I'm not sure if you saw the email today, but we are officially launching our success strategies, and we also have MetaQuest trainings, 3D printer trainings, and a few other offerings